Hello students, I am Mrs. Kartiki Kulkarni from Deccan Education Society's Brihan Maharashtra College of Commerce and Ramanbagh Junior College, Pune. Students, in the previous lecture, we have seen the poem 2.1, that is Song of the Open Road by Walt Whitman. So today we will continue with the same poem and with the question answers from the brainstorming and the appreciation of the poem. So we will start with the presentation. So students, before starting with the question and answers given in brainstorming, first of all, we will revise the explanation of the poem in the form of a summary. So, Song of the Open Road, poem by Walt Whitman. So, this is the motivational free verse written by Walt Whitman. The poem is in the voice of poet who is ready to start on a journey. He is open-minded, light-hearted, and prepared to face the problems that he may come across. The journey is metaphorical for the journey of life. The poet is confident that he has the freedom to choose. He does not want good luck. He is ready to work hard to get the progress in life. He is no longer going to complain or delay. He is ready to take action. He has stopped finding excuses for postponing the journey. He feels he is strong enough to face all the problems that may come across in his way. The earth is enough to provide for his needs. He does not need influential people in his journey. Lastly, he says that he carries old burdens with him. These may be memories related to people and place, or the attachments and relationships. So, this explanation or this summary is given to you so that you are able to recall what I taught in the previous lecture. So now with the help of this, we will discuss questions from the brainstorming. First question. Pick out the lines showing that the poet is prepared to enjoy every moment of this journey. So in the very first stanza, we have seen that poet has started his journey on the open road. So from the poem, we have to find out the lines which shows us that poet is well prepared to walk on the journey or to enjoy the journey of open road. Answer. So these are the few lines from the poem. Afoot and light-hearted, I take to the open road. Afoot means in preparation, and light-hearted means not under any pressure, okay, free from tension. So well prepared and light-hearted, poet has started the journey on the open road. So this line proves that poet is ready to enjoy every moment on his journey. Second, healthy, free, the world before me, because student, he is well prepared, and that's why when he has started his journey on the open road confidently, he found healthy, free world in front of him. Third, the long brown path before me, leading wherever I choose. So through this line, we are able to understand that the confidence level of the poet is very high, and with that confidence, he said, the road will lead me wherever I choose, because I wanted to enjoy my journey. And the fourth line, strong and content, I travel the open road. Poet is enough strong to face the problems on the open road. And content means satisfaction. Poet is contented, satisfied with whatever he has in his life. And that's why with strongness and contented, poet has started his journey on the open road to enjoy it. Second, by all delicious burdens, the poet means. You have to find out from the four options what is meant by all delicious burden. First, the luggage. Second, the food he carries. The stress he bears during the travels. Sweet memories of the past. So, in the explanation of the last stanza, we have seen that all delicious burdens means sweet memories of the past. Next question. Following are the activities of the poet related to his journey on the road. Divide them into two parts as activities the poet will practice and activities he will not practice. So here in this question, students, we have to identify that which sentences are true, means which activities the poet has done in the poem, and which activities are false, means what he has not done, that we have to identify from the following lines. Very first, walking along the road, though he does not know where it reaches. Yes, this sentence is absolutely true because in the first stanza, it is given that wherever I choose, I will start traveling. Okay, and that's why it is the activity he will practice. Second, complaining about the discomforts during the journey. So students, this is false statement because poet has given in the poem that he has done with all complaints. Okay, and that's why now when he has started the journey on the open road, he does not have any kind of complaints. So the answer for this is activity he will not practice. Next, postponing the journey. So this statement is also false because poet does not have any excuses with him to postpone the journey, and that's why this sentence is false, and so the answer is activity he will not practice. Next, praying for good fortune. In the whole poem, we have seen the confidence level of the student, and that's why poet does not want any kind of good fortune. Instead of that, he has said in the poem that myself I am the good fortune. So this sentence is false. He does not pray for good fortune, and that's why the answer is activity he will not practice. Next, carrying the fond memories of the good people. Yes, we have seen this in the last stanza of the poem that he wanted to carry the old delicious burden. Old delicious burden means sweet memories of the people or places which the poet has in his heart, and he wanted to carry that old memories with him. And that's why this sentence is true. Answer is activity he will practice. Next, creating contacts with famous and influential people. We have seen in the poem that poet does not want any kind of influential people nearby, and that's why this sentence is false. So the answer is activity he will not practice. Striving to achieve high and bright success. In the poem, the explanation is given that poet is ready to face the new challenges in the life. he is ready to face the obstacle on the journey of life, and he wanted to take efforts to get the success. And that's why this sentence is true, and the answer is activity he will practice. Last sentence, reflecting and developing his own self. This poem teaches us about the self-confidence. And from this poem and through the lines of the poem, it reflects and develops the poet's own self, and that's why this sentence is true, and so the answer is activity he will practice. Next question. Write down the traits the poet exhibit through following lines. One is done for you. Means in this question, few statements are given here, and through these statements we have to identify the qualities of the poet. First, henceforth I ask for no good fortune. I myself am good fortune. So from this line we come to know the self-confidence of the poet. Second, henceforth I whimper no more, postpone no more, need nothing. So through this line we come to know the positive attitude and self-reliantness of the poet. I do not want the constellations any nearer. Through this line of the poem we come to know the self-assuredness and independent nature of the poet. Next, I swear it is impossible for me to get rid of them. From this line we come to know the quality of the poet, that is clear thinking and responsible human being. Next, I am filled with them. I will feel them in return. From this line we understood the awareness, that is aware and honest about his own statement and sense of gratitude. Next question. The poet has used many describing words such as healthy in this poem. So make a list and classify them as. So here 3 sub-questions are given, and for that you have to find out the different words from the poem. First, for the world means now we have to find out different words, describing words for the world from the poem. So the words healthy, free, sufficient, these are the describing words from the poem for the world. Next, for himself. So students, we will find out the describing words for himself. The words like good fortune, light-hearted, strong and content. These are the describing words used in the poem for himself. And the last one for the road. So students, we will find out the describing words for the road from the poem. So the words are brown, open and long. These words describes the road. Now next question. There are certain words that are repeated in the poem. For example, no more. Find out other similar expressions and explain the effect they have created in the poem. So here the figure of speech repetition, we are able to understand it because in the figure of speech repetition, the words get repeated again and again in the sentence. So we have to find out such expressions from the poem. So the answer is open road. This word are repeated in line number 1 and line number 7. So what is the effect of this expression, or what kind of effect this expression created in the poem? So this expression open road, which comes again and again in 2 lines, it indicates the path in life is open wide for the poet to make any choice he wants. The opportunities are unlimited. Next, the use of personal pronoun I is evident and prominent in this poem. Give reason means the use of personal pronoun I is repeatedly used in the lines of the poem. So we have to give reason for that. Answer is, the repeated use of I shows that he is confident and is able to take his life forward independently. This shows that poet is ready to take action and is confident about his journey of life, his destiny, his decisions, and the consequences. He seems assured of his own capabilities. Students, now we will discuss some poetic devices from the poem. So the first one is repetition. Repetition is a literary device in which a word or phrase is repeated two or more times. So the example of repetition from the poem is, henceforth I whimper no more, postpone no more, need nothing. So here the words no more, they are repeated again and again, and that's why it is repetition. Now next, paradox. Paradox is a poetic device which is defined as a statement contradicting itself. It can also be said to be a sentence that is opposed to the common sense but yet can be true. So the example of paradox from the poem is, still here I carry my old delicious burdens. Now next, metaphor. So a metaphor is a figure of speech that is used to make a comparison between two things that aren't alike but do have something in common. So the example of metaphor from the poem is, a foot and light-hearted I take to the open road. Students, now we will see the appreciation of the poem. So here are the 8 points which are very necessary to include while writing the appreciation of the poem. First one is the title. So it is necessary to give a title while writing the answer like appreciation of the poem. Second, about the poem. So in short, you have to write about the poem, what different qualities you have seen in the poem. About the poet. Now here you have to give the information of the poet. Theme. In short, we need to discuss the theme of the poem. Style. Like theme, we have to write the style of the poem. Special features of the poem. The way we have seen in the Song of the Open Road, that is, it is written in free verse. So that is the special feature of the poem. So we have to include these things while writing the appreciation of the poem. Moral or message. At the ending, we have to write that what we learn from this poem, what message we get from this poem. And at the end, we have to write our own honest opinion. Means how this poem is for you, that you have to write honestly at the end. So students, here I have given the answer, appreciation of the poem, Song of the Open Road. Song of the Open Road is an inspirational poem written by Walt Whitman, which is the part of Leaves of Grass. The title indicates the freedom. The poet was an American poet, essayist, and journalist. Whitman is often called the father of the free verse. Mainly, the poem deals with optimism and joy of free life. It encourages the readers. The poem is written in simple and effective language. As it is written in free verse, there is no rhyme scheme. Length of lines and stanza pattern are not equal. There are many poetic devices are used in this poem as metaphor, paradox, and repetition. Special feature of the poem is its first person narration I, which represents every individual. The poet has used the special device parenthesis by putting last stanza in the bracket to separate himself from the worldly needs. The poem teaches us to be happy and optimistic as we have everything including freedom and an ample of opportunities in the life. My opinion about the poem is that poem is nice because it encourages us to enjoy the life in healthy and free world. It motivates me and fill the heart with immense pleasure of life journey. I really liked the poem. So students, in this way, we have learnt about the poem Song of the Open Road. Now at the last, quickly I want to revise the explanation of the poem. It is good for you because it will help you to find out the answers of the question. So, Song of the Open Road, written by Walt Whitman. It is the motivational poem and written in free verse. That is the feature of the poem. It is written in free verse by Walt Whitman. The poem is in the voice of poet who is ready to start on a journey. Means when poem has started his journey, that time he has given the explanation that what kind of journey he expect and what kind of things he need on the journey. He is open-minded, light-hearted and prepared to face the problems that he may come across. Means he is so confident about his journey and he is ready to take all the responsibilities of his own journey on the open road. The journey is metaphorical for the journey of life. The poet is confident that he has the freedom to choose his own path. He does not want good luck because he believes on himself. He is ready to work hard to get the progress in life. He is no longer going to complain or delay. Means now he don't have any kind of excuses in his life to postpone the journey. He is ready to take action. He is so energetic, active, and ready to face the challenges, new challenges in the life. He has stopped finding excuses for postponing. He feels he is strong enough to face all the problems that may come in his way. The earth is enough to provide for his needs because students, he has started his journey in the company of nature, and that's why whatever he will need during the journey, that time this nature or earth that is sufficient or enough to provide for his needs. He does not need influential people in his journey. Lastly, he says that he carries old burdens. These may be memories related to people and place or attachments and relationships. So students, in this way, today we have finished all the question answers from the textbook of the poem Song of the Open Road by Walt Whitman. Now you enjoy the poem from the textbook. Thank you.